Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to announce we have our first ever guest on the Duck Call podcast, the Duck Call Room podcast this week. So, okay, we were going to keep it a little bit of a mystery. Hopefully y'all don't know that voice. So, the first guest ever is a platinum recording artist.
Bum, bum, bum.
He is
Big
a
time.
New York Times best-selling author.
Bing.
He's the CEO of a multi-million-dollar empire.
Bing.
He was in a movie once.
Bing, bing.
He was that.
That was a big movie.
What other accolades do we have for him?
We got all day, boys. Keep going.
Nobody needs to know it's you yet.
He was the executive producer on the largest non-scripted TV show ever made.
Rob Kardashian.
Thank you.
And
wait.
he is our boss. Willie Robertson is stepping in for Uncle Si this week. So,
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Well, we're doing fine. We're working for you, boss. What's going on in your world? It's been a few days since you've actually been at the office, so we're just we're checking in with you.
A few days.
Oh, now he's getting all judgy.
I'm not
Yeah,
judging.
we're
I'm just
judgy.
legitimately curious. What's going on in the world
I
of Willie?
thought we were working from home.
You were confused. Okay,
good point.
I like it.
I started the COVID protocol about 2-3 years ago.
2-3 years.
I
Been
just
about
needed to
4.
get prepared in case there was a pandemic, and I needed to work from home, and so I'm working from home, and it's going swell. I wondered what y'all were doing. I didn't even know there was a podcast going on.
Oh,
I
so
just-
you've listened to us. That's good. That's
Bing! That is not correct. I have not listened yet. I have not listened to the podcast, but I have
will.
heard good things about it, which is good.
that's good. Hey,
And that's probably the way it'll stay for the rest of my life. But
Will you listen to the one that you're on or
No,
not? No, that's
never.
out.
No. Yeah, I don't go back and listen or
Well, you
just gotta live in the moment, man. You gotta live in the moment. Now, so size. What is this? What is this? What's the point?
Well, generally, how this podcast goes is we get Si off on some tangent that reminds him of a memory in his life, and we laugh, and he tells the story, and we laugh some more.
And it works.
And it works so far. So we're keeping with that system. So you got big
Wait a
shoes
minute.
to fill this week.
Godwin just said it works,
It seems to.
but what makes it work? I mean, what based on what rationale does it work?
Because Si's funny. And we laugh at him.
We have a good time doing it.
So if Si makes you laugh, it works.
That's right.
So that's the goal.
Hey,
Duck
this is-
Dynasty
We
started
understand
that
the
method.
pressure that I feel now because nobody can do what Si does
well, we did a
No.
whole Christmas
because
episode
I'm a
about,
normal person.
about bee stings. So
I didn't know where you were going with that.
you can just go. You can really go anywhere that you feel like. Whatever pops in your head, you're like, I got stung by a bee on Christmas once, and then about 5 bee stories later, we were done.
Yeah, we learned about bees and buttocks.
And welcome to the Duck
And
Call
what was
Room
his name?
podcast.
Uncle FM or whatever his
Yeah.
name was.
Yeah.
Said he was mean.
Yeah, you had a really mean great uncle. Did you know that?
Who, FM?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the stories.
So you're aware of being backed in a purple tail wasp nest.
He's lucky. FM's lucky I wasn't around back then. I'd have slapped him upside his face. And then took off running.
Well,
I was, that's what I was. That was my move. I would hit or throw and then run.
guerrilla warfare. Just hit and go.
Hit it and gone. That was my tactic.
And anything you could grab was your weapon.
Hey, anything.
Yeah. You know what that says? I'm a younger brother because I was the same way.
They beat me. Beat me down.
6 years between me and my brothers. So there was a.
Yeah, but you're giant. Were you giant? You had to be
I wouldn't
giant
at
your whole
6.
life.
I mean,
You had to be giant at 6.
No, I just had a big head. I mean, my head was the same size, but I mean, my body, I was still a 6-year-old. So
Yeah, they put the beat down on me for sure.
who's that? Jace, W.E.?
All of them.
Al.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I wish I'd have been like Johnny did. Would you get pinched when you were growing up? Like one time your sister pinched you?
Mainly wedgies.
Oh,
was the-
God. Just,
But she would pick me up by the We've discussed this, but she'd pick me up by the underwear and sing the Batman song and call him Batman.
man, if I'd have had a week with you, would change your life.
It'd be a lot tougher than it is now, wouldn't it?
Would it be tough?
So did you try to get everybody in trouble?
No, I wasn't that guy. Well, you couldn't go tell. There was no title telling.
Until Jep came along.
Because y'all all got it if one got it.
Well, no, it was sort of how it worked was you can go tell, and which, Dad, it's like whatever. But then once you told, then you really got it.
Then
you would just get beat down even more. So you just had to deal with it when it happened. So probably my best one I got on Jace was he threw me off the recliner, and he's sitting up on there. He said, "I'm the king of this house," and so I just leaned in from the door frame with a 16-gauge shotgun shell right between his eyes. I mean, all I had.
He threw it. He did not shoot it.
Oh, I threw it. No, I threw it, hit him right in the face, and I took off running. He caught me about a quarter of a mile up the street.
You played out.
It wasn't a hole. It was a live shell.
It was a shell, yeah.
Good.
Oh, it was full.
Oh, yeah, 2 3/4.
I said, "Who's the king of the house now?" And then I was like, "He gone."
Then the king retreated.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
What about Si? What was it like having Si as your uncle growing up? Was Si around in your formative years?
Oh, yeah.
or-
He was just a weirdo, like he was the weird uncle. He was funny, but just bizarre. And the main thing I remember about Si was him bringing all the Army clothes. We thought that was cool. So he would give us, the hand-me-downs from the Army, and it had Robertson on it, which was cool. So we wore all his shirts and jackets. The cool thing was the sleeping bags. They had the real feathers in them, so they're Army sleeping bags. And I peed on every one of them because I peed the bed. And if you've ever tried to dry out urine from like real goose feathers, it is a chore. So here's how I'd go. I'd pee, and then I would wake up in my cold urine. We didn't have central heat, so we had one gas fireplace. So I would just hold that blanket. I would hold the sleeping bag in front of the little fireplace until it kind of dried out, and then I'd snuggle back in for the night. Run it back the next night. I was a bedwetter.
Oh, wow.
So you got very used to the smell of warm urine.
Oh,
growing
everything smelled like pee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything I slept on.
up. Man.
I had that.
But what was great, because if you're in a, like you, John David, y'all had probably one bedroom that you all shared.
Yeah.
The whole family. Nobody slept with me. It was like nobody came. So wherever I slept, like I had my own place.
You got your own covers. You
Yeah.
had all of it.
Everything was Han Solo when it came to slumbering.
I also peed the bed. It was a queen size bed, but
You had a queen size bed when you were a child?
I went from crib to queen.
Oh,
like when I was 3.
Rich people.
My
See?
dad.
That's what rich people do.
Hold on. My dad built it himself. First of all, it's still in that room to this day. You can't get it out because he built it in there. And part 2 is
You had your own room?
I didn't have my own bathroom though. I took a nose spray every night before I went to bed that would make me not pee the bed. You should have got some of that.
There was some kind of nose spray,
yeah.
urine stop.
Oh yeah, and like whenever me and my buddies would go to a house, all the bedwetters had to go to the refrigerator, get the nose spray. The 90s were a weird time.
Wait, how is that
I don't-
connected to that?
No idea. But we
I
would
don't know.
we would all
I just tried rubber bands and it didn't work. No, don't try that.
But we would do a nose spray and you wouldn't wet the bed. I had to do it at Camp Chioka. When I was a kid, I had to go to the nurse's station every night so I wouldn't get beat up for peeing on the top bunk and dripping down on the person below me.
Godwin, is that why you use nose spray all the time?
No, I'm just addicted to air.
He said he's addicted to air.
Godwin, did you pee the bed?
I don't remember. I don't recollect. No,
You
getting
don't
in trouble
remember?
for it.
How do you not? Your
I
first
guess I
memories are
did.
like at 17? What happened to you?
I think most,
So, I mean, if you
There
didn't
weren't many
remember, you
memories
didn't, right,
at
you didn't do it.
Yeah,
I must not have.
yeah. 'Cause
No, the last time I did, I was like 14.
really?
oh,
Yeah, it was like, I was like, what just happened?
I
But I did, yeah.
What you?
I don't even know how to follow that up.
Yeah, I
In
do.
the bed.
I know how to follow it up. Let's take our first break. Look, Willie, I would think this one is actually going to be somewhat interesting to you because I got a crash course in the home title theft, and as a man like you who has several residences that he owns, did you know that people can go online, find the title to your home or your property, and then file loans against your property?
Quit claim deeds.
That's impossible.
All they have to do is fill out a quit claim deed, forge your signature, then they can start borrowing money against your property. And look, you would never know about it until the collectors start showing up. So our friends over at Home Title Lock, they help protect you. And in the unlikely event that you become a victim of title theft, Home Title Lock will spend up to $250,000 in legal fees defending you. Also, when you sign up for HomeTitleLock.com, you also get a certain amount of identity protection. So we're going to help you out today. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com, register your address to see if you've already been a victim. Then you can use the code RADIO, and you'll have 30 free days of protection. That's code RADIO at HomeTitleLock.com.
Do you think Jace or Al would sneak in there and put your hand in some warm water, a pot of warm water, and make you do that?
They would. Yeah, they would have done. They may have. Who knows?
Ain't neither one of them that slick at that age.
You know what they did to me one time?
Uh-oh.
Very.
I'm interested.
Very interested.
Them suckers. So I was asleep. They woke me up, told me get ready for the school bus. So I get completely dressed, book bag. I'm sitting on the couch, and then they all laugh because it was about 12:15 at night. It was so funny.
What'd you throw at
I'm
him?
just sitting there waiting on the bus, and I'm like, wow, it's waiting for the old son. She's a little late this morning.
Yeah. Well, I imagine y'all
Why is
did.
David
Boy,
Letterman on? That's weird.
Well, back then, why was the American flag on the TV?
It actually says
It'd
more
go
about my
off.
sleep, right? Because, like, I'm peeing, I have no idea. It's a hard life.
You slumber.
I wasn't
deep.
like, oh, rich kid right here with his own room and his king size
He probably didn't even get up till
waterbed.
daylight.
I did not have a
Oh,
water
no,
bed.
they your mom would probably come in and gently, like, sing little tunes to you. Good morning, Johnny D. Wake up. It's going to be a great day.
Wake up,
She's not a
Johnny, wake up.
She did wake me up, though. How did you wake up?
Always with yelling and anger. You know what? My mother, every time she spoke to us, it was always like she was mad. She'd be like, get off your butt and go get the groceries. And I'm like, well, it's not that we wouldn't have got, like, well, why so harsh?
All you
Why
had
so
to do-
hard? Just say,
All you
hey,
had to do
can
was
somebody go
ask.
get the groceries? It was like we didn't want to.
Oh, that's funny.
Everything.
And now you can't hardly get Kay stirred up for anything.
No, she was.
She ran out of that vigor, huh?
It was an angry season.
Angry season.
Well, in her defense, raising you three, I'd have probably been a little angry too. So,
Well,
y'all were mean to each other. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Y'all were scrappers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Had
y'all
to be, man. Survival.
barnyard scrappers
I know.
down there on the river.
I wish it would have been like Johnny D, like the rich kid in the
yeah.
neighborhood. What?
You married into that neighborhood.
What?
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I'm in that. I moved out of that neighborhood.
Yeah,
I'm out.
he started a new one on the other
he
side.
makes
on the
fun of-
highway. No, I couldn't handle
I
that
see
neighborhood
everybody
living
followed you over there.
He makes fun of my family, and he moved next door to him.
really close. Yeah, I know. When Corey and I got married, I said, I ain't ever living on this street. Yeah.
Yeah, now you own half of it.
Yeah, now I can hit a pitching wedge over there to everybody's yard.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey, look, Si's not here, so I think it's our time that we should tell a story on Si that he can't interrupt and tell it his way. What I mean,
That's a
Johnny
pretty
D, your
solid.
first time meeting Uncle Si. What
Willie was there.
was it?
I bet you don't remember it. You made fun of me the whole night.
Poker?
Yep, poker. I get him. He does remember it.
He just remembered
He
it.
remembers
I remember when you went to bed.
I'd tell him. Okay, so here we go. So my buddy, he has some older brothers. He's like, hey, we get invited to go play poker, aka some college kids wanted to take a few high school kids, lunch money. So I had like $20, And so I'm in this college dude's house. There's nothing on the walls. And all of a sudden, Willie shows up. And I'm like, what in the world is
That was the
happening?
next level of play. That's the one they didn't tell you was coming.
All of a sudden, all the bets start going up. And I'm like, I'm sitting beside Willie. He's making fun of me. And then this old guy shows up with like a half beard and a tea jug, and of course it's Si, and they sit me between Willie and Si, and I'm 16
That's a bad
at the
seat.
time, playing poker. I've watched it on ESPN, so and it's, at one point I go to bet $5, and my hand is just shaking.
He puts it out there. It's the
Vigorously.
most embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
Because they both got like $100 just throwing it out there, and I'm like, I won't be able to drive to school.
Was this at the Easterly's house? Or like Seth's or
Zach
something?
Stevens' house?
Zach Stevens.
I was there that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got hung with nervous Pervis for
Yeah.
the rest of the night.
I remember
and
that
the whole
now.
time, I'm nervous because Willie's making fun of me. But the crazy old man next to me, every time I'm like, I'll just check. And he just screams, raise. And I'm like, what is happening? And my buddy, who's like doesn't talk to anybody, he just like left in the middle of it. So then I'm just the high school kid just getting beat down by a grandpa, my cousin's husband, and like all these college kids. But at the very end of the night, I took Si for like $60. And he's not there to.
There's a trophy to put on your mantle.
Yeah.
You beat Si at poker.
Everybody's
If
done
you
that.
play Si, you're gonna
Yeah.
take his
But
money. At
Willie
some
called me Nervous Pervis for about 3 more years after that. He's like, oh, Nervous Pervis.
So from my perspective, they said, "Hey, there's a bunch of rich kids over here who
Bunch of
have
trust fund
queen size beds at their own rooms. They want to play poker. Y'all want to go over there?" I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I was interested in playing poker over there because finally my boss wasn't taking my paycheck back. I mean, that was Willie's move back in the day. Was, hey, let's play poker on Friday. He'd pay us on Friday morning, Friday night.
And then take
That
it out.
payroll would just come right back into his pocket.
He
I mean,
told me
Technically,
that.
it wouldn't come back to me till Saturday morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Early.
He said that's why I have it at my house. I've seen the boy. I've seen him go to bed. Not like I'm out. No, he went to bed, wake up 3 hours later, find a 20 behind the picture frame, say, let's roll, and then have every chip at the table. And you're like, what? But
You went to bed.
You went to bed. Like you quit.
Yeah, and then I'm back.
Yeah. I mean, I remember being over there like Bella waking up and got to give her a bottle. Like, yeah. I mean, we were playing in those days. I mean, it was, oh man.
So I do remember Si. This was at the new house, not the newer house, not the original house.
The middle house.
Yeah, the middle house.
Too many houses to remember them. I'm a rich kid.
I said you were rich as a kid. I didn't say some of us didn't make it there. So we're at the middle house. So poker game, like it starts at 7, right? Well, Si's the guy. Si's there at 5:45. For a 7 o'clock. Kind of like Johnny D. He's an early guy too. He's way early.
I share a lot in common with Si. And
So Si came in, so he would just sit. I'm like, well, Si, it starts in an hour and 15 minutes. So he would sit in there by himself and deal hands and then play with himself. And, I mean, like, he would look at this hand. But what's funny was he would make commentary as well to himself.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, what you holding there? Oh, I got Jack 10. Jack, that's a good hand. That's a good. I'll raise on that one. Let's see what's next. Oh, sevens. We got pocket sevens. And then he would play. And so Bella came in there, and she was just a little kid and said, Dad, Uncle Si is talking to himself. I said, yeah, he's fine. Just let him do what he's doing.
He's talking to the boys.
And he would play with himself until everybody showed up, and then he would.
That was the
Play
beauty,
poker.
though. But when we would start, you'd get there, and Si would have $500 in 20 stacks already counted out for everybody. He's like, all right, who's in? And you didn't have to count your chips. Si had them all. Honest count. Like, you didn't waste no time.
He would get
with
there.
him.
Yeah, we'd be like having dinner, like the family.
Yeah.
And here comes Si. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Just
Yeah. Get at the table in there.
sit over there and do what you do.
He'd count all the cards. There'd be 2 decks ready to go. Like, he was.
I'll go back to when I invited Si. I mean, Jason, I kept trying to get him to play, and he wouldn't come play. He would say, no. And we were like, why not? And he goes, do you not know how to play? Which I don't know if he still doesn't know. I still don't know if he knows how to play. And he said, no, because I love it too much. Like, I love it too. And I was like, And then I realized when he started playing, that was true. He loved it so much. And
oh man, he that is his one love in life. I think is poker.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how much that man loves it.
Hey, and you didn't put my accolades when you were reading them earlier.
What I miss?
You missed probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. I got Si to lay down pocket aces.
You did.
On a straight stone cold bluff.
You did.
I had like deuce 4, nothing, and he laid down aces on the river.
Got him.
And I bet him out of it, and he laid down rockets, and I turned over that chunk, and I don't think he's ever laid down a hand since.
No, you started on a bad trend
you get
there.
side lay down aces, you have played some serious poker.
I think that was the night the couch was born. Take him to the couch, boys.
The couch.
I don't ever want to play with y'all.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's not fun now because they're in a different tax bracket, so it's a way different.
What about when person we won't name? So this guy would get up big.
We're not naming.
And then he would want to leave. You know, be like, "Oh, I'm up big money, so I'm gonna leave." And which it just burned us up. He's taking all this money, so he stands up. I'm dealing, right? So I just dealt him. He said, "Hey, I'm out." And I said, "I'll just deal your hand. It'll be dead." And so he looks down at it. And he goes, I'll make him play one more. Well, I know right there he's got a good hand.
Yeah.
So I don't care what I got. Like, I don't care what you bet. I'm in this hand. I got one shot
to get that money back.
It was almost in your truck. That sucker sat back down. Oh, and he had pocket queens. And I can't remember what I busted him with.
I think it was Jack Deuce.
Who knows what it was? I mean, it was so
it could be literally any two cards.
It was from the garbage pile. And he did leave after that hand, except he took no money with him. Yeah. Every dime he
lost
had.
It all. Pulled out his wallet.
He was standing up. Like, he was standing up to leave.
I need to know who it is.
He goes by the name of Curly. We'll leave it at that. He goes by the name of Curly.
Oh, Phil McMillan needs to be here for that story.
We'll leave. We got more Curly stories.
Is Phil
coming.
McMillan on this
Phil
podcast?
McMillan is on it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Let me tell you, the first time, so Philip was like a senior, and I was in 10th grade at Westmore High School. So I knew he had this giant curly hair. I just knew everybody kind of knew who he was.
That's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And so I'll never forget, I'm sitting in front of Westmore High School. I'm in the gold truck, and this cat pulls up. We're like at the red light going down 7th. And I look over at this guy, and it's old Phil, and he's got a fan of $100, like a fan you could cool yourself with of $100 bills. And he just looks over at me. He does that face and he goes, mm-hmm. I was like, that dude is cool, man. Who has that much money on him? And turned, he was working for like some kind of auto part, so he was just actually taking money. But he would fan it and show everybody his money. That's one of my first memories ever of Phillip McMillan.
Old McMill. Well, on that note, let's take our next break. We'll come back with more. The average person has 97 points. 97 points they can add to their credit score. Did y'all have any idea about that? No clue?
Willie can add 97 points to his credit score?
Does he need 97 points? What is your credit score?
Yeah, I need that. What's my credit score?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No idea.
It's probably, I don't know. Sometimes it gets screwed up. I don't know.
You've got people for that, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I know it. It's good.
You too can have people from that because Scoremaster has the credit scientist that can show you the tools to add up to 97 points on yours. But what they'll almost guarantee you is that you can add 61 points in the first 20 days if you just sign up for Scoremaster. So the fact that they've got guys in lab coats crunching numbers and all that working for you is a pretty cool deal. Look, if you boost your score 61 points on a car loan, that is a savings of 10 grand over the life of a car loan. And on a home loan, that's 100 grand back in your pocket. If you're interested, you can enroll in minutes. All you have to do is go to scoremaster.com/duck. That's scoremaster.com/duck. Fill out for a free account. See how easy it is.
And try not to co-sign loans for people.
Oh,
That'll
boy.
drop you in a second.
Scoremaster.com/duck.
All right, guys, we're back.
Welcome
I'm
back.
I'm not leading this operation.
I love
I'm
it.
not in charge here.
No,
Welcome back, guys. Hey, fun times from the Duck Call Room.
Man.
You are right here with the what's this called?
The duck call.
The
room.
Duck Call Room.
And
What a
technically, I
name.
think you are in charge of this.
Yes, sir. Johnny D, my right-hand man sitting on my left side. Good to see you, Johnny D. You look dapper as always.
This takes me way back to Willie Robertson's Wild Life. Your first run at a podcast set, but it was a radio show back then. Remember
The original
Willie
Wild-
Robertson's Wild Life?
Oh, yeah. That was radio.
Yeah, I know. Remember on Rock?
On Rock 106. Yeah. I forgot about that.
That was a good time. I just remember the deal. I remember you always, because I was like, you had what, 12 of them, and I was your guest 7 times, so it was kind of.
That's about like the podcast me and him
You
did.
were the smartest guy I knew. So, you said what do I have going on right now? I'm doing a fast,
He is fasting.
and Johnny D is fasting as well.
Ooh.
Can we talk about Bible stuff, or is that off limits too?
No, Bible is in on that.
Okay, all right. I wasn't
No,
sure
the Bible
what y'all
stuff's
are.
in.
The Bible's in. We're
But-
just not
but-
preachers.
Some of my people some people I know are fasting from the news. So
I've been doing
now
that.
I'm doing like a little more. I'm not eating when the sun is up. I'm not eating.
I haven't had meat.
So it's more of like a super traditional.
Are you on an all-night diet, or you still
Well, that's
just,
the problem, because I feel like now I'm kind of skanking it, because if you just stay up late enough, you can get that second meal in.
Taco Bell made a living off that last meal.
You know,
so-
so it's like I could eat it. It's like 5:34, so whatever time. Like it's like I'm hunting. I'm looking. At
Willie
what time the
checks
sun goes
sunset
down. Oh
every
yeah,
day.
Oh, it's down.
yeah.
It's gone.
If you don't like short days, if you're like, oh, I hate short days, they're the worst. Fast during sunlight, and you'll love short days.
Yeah. So you
Because if it
have
were like
so you
sunset at
have
9,
legal eating hours.
Yeah, I
instead
mean
of-
that's for what I'm doing now. I mean for the fast that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So do you wake up at like 4 o'clock to get one in before
No.
the day starts?
John
or?
David put that in my. I think he's like the little devil character on my shoulder, because he's like, well, you could eat technically in the morning. I was like, oh, I never thought about that. Like I'm doing the whole thing, but I was like, I could.
It's
could wake
dark
up.
early.
Yeah, because I looked and it's like. I mean, not saying that I haven't gotten up early, but I was like, what time does the sun come up?
Well, 6:40 is legal shooting hours right now
Well,
for ducks.
there you go, because
so-
it's like 7. I'm like, oh my goodness, I could eat a full breakfast.
You go
But
Waffle
I
House.
think that would be disastrous, because then I think I would just be starving to death. Like,
Yeah.
then if I had to wait.
That's the way
But
I am.
I'm still doing it like I could. That was a good observation, though.
I just go by the rules.
Yeah.
So where did that come from? Only
The
eating
Bible,
at night,
Jesus, huh?
eating at night.
No. Well, it's just the one I'm doing. What do you mean? Where'd that come from?
Which
The
your
fast like it.
particular fast.
Oh, it's I mean, technically, I guess it would be intermittent fasting.
Intermittent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'll do that because I had some stuff. I wasn't gonna fast. I was like, this year I'm not doing it, because we do like a 21 day. It's intense, you know. And so I was like, last year we did the straight Daniel fast, which was no meat, no sugar, pretty much nothing that tastes good.
That's what I'm doing, kind of. But
See, but yeah, no,
You can-
no, but that's our new rule too. We don't
We don't
discuss other.
discuss.
So he's doing what he's doing. I'm not gonna give comments on his. He's not gonna comment on mine. Cause yeah, at 5:42 tonight, I could eat a Johnny's Pizza. You know, like if I,
I
wanted
could
to.
too with no meat. But I don't do that. But I ate.
But we broke fast last year. Me and Sadie, my whole family, we broke fast at Johnny's. We actually went to the restaurant and just scalded the top of our mouths, like just rookie what I like, and then just totally scalded my mouth where I couldn't taste for another.
I just have to know, did you make it home?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
I was just curious, because if you fasted for 21 days and your first meal was going to Slam Johnny's, that's a ooh. That's
well,
a,
no,
that's
you're,
a belly
no,
ache
you're
there.
sit. No, your belly's already like
Oh, it's-
you're. My stomach's looking at me like, really? Like, what are you shoving down in here, man? Come on. Like, we had a great deal going. We've been working this for years, and then it's like, what is this coming down the pipe? It's like, there's a veggie burger. There.
I don't do fake meat, though.
No.
I did eat a whole bag of Brussels sprouts last night, and I'm just...
Oh, no, that'll tear you up.
I'm trying...
Hey, the Impossible
I'm hoping
Whopper.
you don't want to leave by the time this is over.
No, that thing's good, I'm telling you.
No.
The what?
I don't.
Look,
Burger King
we're
doesn't
going
pay me
down a-
anything. The Impossible Whopper is delicious, and you can't tell. Here's the deal. People are like, no, I like meat. What, the standard of Burger King meat? Like, that's what you like to taste?
I don't like
That's
Burger
no good
King.
anyway. I'm telling you, it's a good thing.
I just have a personal belief. If your stance is I'm not eating meat, then you forfeited the right to a burger. Quit making fake ones. Quit making all this
What are
other
you talking
stuff.
about? It's made of plant. Actually, veggie burgers are pretty good. They're getting better at it.
but if you're a
If you're
vegetarian,
eating beans, it's beans that are flavored.
well, that's fine. Eat baked beans, but leave the bacon out of them.
No,
like,
you
eat
can't.
purple whole peas.
I'm
if
can't
you
eat
want.
that
pro
without putting
fake
bacon in.
meat. If fake anything, if you got something,
I just
Against it.
yeah. When you go vegetarian, you forfeit your right to all meat dishes.
I'm
Like,
fixing to be with a vegetarian chef. Actually, this weekend, so
I bet he's skinny, or is it a she?
I think he's super bowed up.
Is he really?
Yeah.
You know what I eat a lot?
Interesting.
When
Hey, y'all need to. Well, that's where this started. Y'all need to watch the documentary Game
No,
Changers.
No. I'm off.
See,
of,
you don't
no.
want. Yeah, you don't want. You can't handle the truth.
I can handle the truth.
That's conspiracy theory.
I went and
No,
shot. I went and
okay.
shot 5
Oh,
ducks this morning. I
Okay,
can handle
hey,
it. It's
hang on,
fine.
hang on.
This isn't the
I'm not-
podcast
I'm
for this.
not-
We're about to buckle down, boys.
Do you like the running back for the Saints?
Which one,
Pff,
Mr.
what does he eat?
Alvin Kamara's not a vegetarian.
Yes, he is.
Fact check it.
Yes, he
Fact
is.
check it.
Look it up.
I need
Look
to
it
know.
up.
I need to
Johnny
know.
And
D.
plus, hey, let me tell
Johnny
you something.
D.
I ain't close to ever doing what Alvin Kamara can do, and he can do whatever he
I'm
wants.
just saying, there's a lot of pro athletes that are, I'm not. Hey, I like meat. I'm just saying, don't be knocking people that eat plants. If you want to, well, let me think of the line right. If you want to be strong like the ox, eat what the ox eats.
I want to be strong like the lion, and
Just
he
think
eats
about
the
it.
ox.
Yeah.
God was still. God was like, I want to be strong like the wieners, because I eat hot dogs.
Chili dog, baby.
Thank you. I'm with Godwin.
I ate chili dogs the other night. I thought about
Gourmet
you, dog,
chili
I
dog?
did.
Was that your
I
last?
called my shot, and I told Corey, I said, Corey, tomorrow night I'm making chili dogs. She was like, hey, I'm down with it.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten a chili dog.
I want to
long
chili.
time.
Oh man, we eat them all the time. Not all the time, but that's
When we
that's
first
like
got
a
married,
once
we
a
used,
month.
yeah, Corey and I, that was like once a week. That was
Yeah.
in the rotation.
My
homemade
wife
hot
doesn't
dogs.
like hot dogs.
But I found the red skin, the little red wieners.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
football team?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Not the really good ones from Nebraska.
The
They got
Wilson
those red
wieners?
wieners. Nebraska are so good. Well, that's what we
Wilsons.
called them Wilson, but they're not Wilson anymore. Kay told me, she said they got them at Brookshire's, and I went up there, and
Showing up.
so I cooked like 28 weenie. You know, it was basically Corey and I.
He's like,
But I'm so hungry, like I'm just eating them like literally like I'm fixing to die.
that's my favorite part about Willie Robertson right there. He will tell you why veggie burgers are good for you. And then the very next story is me and Corey ate 28 red weenies.
No. Corey ate 2.
Yeah.
I ate about 12.
Love it.
Oh, I look like Kobayashi going on them thing. I was like dipping them in water.
You said everything in moderation, and ain't nothing about that boy in moderation.
Nothing. He's either
I didn't
veggie
eat all
burgers
day.
or
I-
a dozen hot
I'll
dogs.
still eat a veg. I'll go eat Impossible Whopper right now.
I
I'm telling you, you want your food to taste better? Do a little fast. It'll taste better.
Oh,
Because then you're
that's
starving.
true.
You're like, oh man, this
those
is
Brussels
delicious.
sprouts were good last night.
Exactly. see?
I fast every night from the hours of like 8 to 6. Like
Like-
I need- when I sleep.
Well, that's
I wake up and I
I
eat
think
again.
everybody
sleep a
does
lot.
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Unless
That's-
somebody's waking up eating.
No, that's.
But some people do that.
Yeah, there are people that go to the fridge about midnight and dough pop them something, go back. You know what that'll do to you? Get you up about 3:15.
You know what I've been into? Hey, y'all can help me with this. This is what I've been doing now since, and I hate being that guy. I was that guy.
Here we
Like
go.
January the 3rd, I go to the health club. I walk in. I'm like,
God.
man, I'm so that person.
You have a gym at your house.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why I had to go to the gym.
Oh no!
I hate going to the gym. I'm working my legs. So one of my goals this year is to get my legs stronger. Well, I don't have leg weights at my house. Like and so I go in there and I just do legs. Now, the first time I left, you never want to hear this from the person working at the gym. When I leave, she goes, "Oh, you're finished already?" I said, "Hey, Miss Judgmental, it's a baby step thing." I was in there for like literally 12 minutes.
I couldn't walk.
I was like, "Got it." Oh, fell asleep at like I ate my face off in chili dogs, and I'm sound asleep. Like my body is
New
going,
year, new me.
What is happening? Like,
so
I'm doing leg workouts.
Well,
now.
So just so we're
Just
clear,
so you know, if you see me like doing something athletic, and you're like, "Whoa, man," you'll know I'm doing leg workouts.
If I see you doing something athletic, I'm calling the orthopedist because it's only a matter of time before you get injured.
No, that's the old me. The new me with super strong legs is not going to be that way.
Oh, next year.
No, next month.
Oh,
Next month.
how many times have you
Let's
been
go
to the gym?
right now. 3.
3.
No,
So
2.
we're up to 36
Two.
minutes of
It's
gym
only-
workouts in the new year.
No, I've been maybe 3.
That's once a week, twice in 14 days.
No. It's going to be every other day. I may hit it on the way home. But I don't like going when it's crowded.
But then you need to start in February because January,
January,
that place is
I know. I feel stupid walking in there. So, but Corey's like, "We have a membership." I was like, "Oh, perfect." So I'm just going to slide in like, "Hey, I'm back.
No.
You know, I'm a member." No, I don't have the right stupid fob, to get in the door. And then she's like, "Well, you're not on the list." And so I'm like, "Well, just put me on the list." And she goes, "Well, you've got too many people on the list because all my kids
He's
have
like,
put
"Take them
put
off the
themselves on my
list."
plan." And so I'm like, and so she's looking. No, this is so funny. She goes, "Well, I mean, Corey hasn't been here since before COVID." So
I'll take her
I
off the
almost
list.
took her off, and then Corey's mad. She goes, "No, I've been there. They just hadn't seen me." I'm like,
Well, they
"The
didn't
fob
log.
don't lie.
Yeah, they didn't
The
log your
fob
visits.
Don't lie. What are you going in the back door?"
That's.
But I'm working on this because I'm working on my tennis game, and so I'm trying to keep up with my children. So at tennis.
Oh man.
Well,
He's a veggie
I'm
burger.
a vegan tennis playing. I cut all my hair off. It's over. Let's face it, guys.
Half the listeners just turned us off. They said Willie's a vegan tennis player now.
I can't wait to read the
I just ate
comments this
chili
week.
dogs, so you know what I'm saying. Like, and I like tennis. So, at my age, what else? We're gonna go play football. I mean,
I'm on
what
Martin's
are we gonna
team
play
if we
baseball?
Nah.
I mean, let's face it, guys. If you want to do something athletic, that's a competition. There's just a few things,
I ain't played football since we did that little game on Duck Dynasty where he popped his hamstring, which was real, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
That was a real hamstring pop.
I drove him to the doctor.
that came from I was racing Will.
Yeah. But then we played
And
the football
him.
game.
I was smoked him. I was gonna beat him in that race.
Allegedly.
No, he had.
Watch the video.
No,
son.
I was there. But I also heard
Unfortunately, you were on the ground.
I also heard the audible pop of his hamstring saying, "I can't do it no
I
more."
popped it. Yeah,
I mean, it just pop. I was like, "Oh."
No, I went to a guy on that. You know what he did? He stuck a wooden needle in my muscle.
A wooden
A
needle.
wooden needle.
Vegan witchcraft. That's what.
No,
you're into.
my doctor said, "Hey, go try this, man. It actually works." That sucker drove a wooden piece of.
That's a splinter.
Yeah,
That's what
it's like
that's called.
bamboo stuck at my leg, and I'm telling you,
Godwin's
hey,
Godwin's face is disturbed right
worked.
now.
I ain't seen
worked.
Godwin this uncomfortable since
the
we talked about
muscle-
vasectomies.
the muscle relieved, and it felt way better.
But the back of your leg is tender.
Like a red weenie.
That thing will pop just like one of them red weenies
Still
was.
got a piece of wood in there, it ain't. What is this?
Godwin, you can't read?
Well, I can read Omega X.
Sound it out.
Yeah, that's the Omega XL. It's backed by 35 years of research.
And development working for you.
It's kind of weird. Si's not here to give that part of it.
Fatty
But
acid combination.
That's exactly what it is. Look, that comes from the pristine waters of New Zealand. That comes from the green mussel. They extract the oil. So it's like a fish oil. But what it does is it attacks the inflammation. It doesn't just mask the pain like creams and other cover-ups.
How many of these you supposed to take?
It says on there you can take 2, 4, 6, up to 8 a day to help with your inflammation.
You know who could use that? Old tennis elbow over here.
You do injure yourself a lot. You may ought to start a preventative here with the Omega XL. So
I'll take that stuff right now. Godwin, if you took more pills like that, you'd have to take less of the other pills that you have to take.
You're right.
So it's you're taking pills either way, bro.
the wisdom that is Willie.
When you get 50, you
The ones you're taking are a lot more expensive, so you may want to work in some of those. So.
You can get one of those for free. Tell us how, Martin.
Well, look, if you order Omega XL now, you can get a second bottle for free. All you have to do is visit omegaxl.com/duck. That's omegaxl.com/duck, or call 1-800-844-4888. That's 800-844-4888.
Just tell them Johnny D sent you.
Oh, boy. Thank you.
What were you thinking when you took over Duck Commander? What was the thought process?
Godwin
there?
was here.
He was.
Godwin is an older employee.
Godwin was one. You were the person I did not hire.
That's still here?
Right. Yeah, he came along. He came with the package.
Yeah.
It was a good package, though.
I'm the oldest employee here outside of the family.
There you go.
He's the oldest employee here outside of the family. Wow. God, you've made it.
21 years this year.
Is that how long it's been?
Mm.
Wow.
I worked at
Congratulations.
Riverwood for 21 years.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. I've actually never wanted to fire you.
Well,
I mean,
thank
that
you.
says something, like 21 years. Especially if you're part of the old team, you know?
Yeah.
But
Did
no.
you ever want to fire Si?
Yeah, oh, for sure. No, I went and begged Phil.
He's not here. Let's get it out on the table. What
So
happened?
I go to Phil. What was I thinking? I'll explain that in a minute. So I went in. I'm looking at the kind of the bottom lines. I'm kind of looking at the operation. We are running Duck Commander out of Mom and Dad's house, and so Si's the reed guy, and but he slept most of the day, and he really didn't. You know, nobody wanted to do the reads, but I was like, this is just a bad spend on our money. We didn't have any money, and so I go to Dad, and I said, Dad, look, we need to let go. We need to drop some really a person, and that needs to be Si. Because I was like, Godwin can do the read.
I was already cutting the end pieces.
Yeah, you were fixing to do both. I was thinking a multitask.
Boy.
So, and I said, so we just need to let Si go. I mean, I know he's your brother, but let's face it, he's not a good worker. Phil goes, Phil's in his recliner. Phil said, nah, leave old Si alone. He's a reed man. That's a monotonous job. Nobody wants to do it, so just let him keep doing it. And I was like, crap. And so I went to actually try to get him let go from the company. That would have been a bad move.
It's a good thing.
My Godwin story. So Godwin always wanted to hire more. He needed more help. Like, we just need more help down here. So finally we had a meeting, and I said, Godwin, what exactly are you looking for? I need 3 more people in this warehouse. I said, for what? Like, what's the job? What do we need to get done? He goes, well, I mean, the UPS guy comes at 3 o'clock, and it's just, I mean, we're working right up until 3 o'clock to get the order in. I said, well, have you missed one? He said, no, we hadn't missed one. I said, well,
No, it's 12.
if you had more people, like, what would you want to accomplish? He goes, well, then we could have it ready to go by like 11. And then I asked him the question he didn't have the answer to. I said, well, what would you do from 11 to 5? He goes, I don't know. Bomb, rejected. No more hiring of people.
No new people.
To get done 3 hours early.
I told John David that before we went on. I said, I know which one Willie's going to tell on Godwin. I said, that'll be that one right there. And sure enough, you don't disappoint.
Well, now, what's my story on you?
When I sent you an email
He's the person I never hired.
But here I am, boys.
I didn't hire him.
And he's still
Officially.
around.
So we played poker all the time.
Yeah.
He worked at a sporting goods store, which was cool. And he's really smart. And he said, hey, if you got anything you need me to do, I can help you out. I was going out of town.
For free. I said for free.
Yeah, for
nothing.
free. I said, I like free. So
Yeah.
I said, I'm going out of town. Why don't you just come in here and cold call some stores and just see if you can sell them some duck calls? Because I thought you knew the lingo. You work at a sporting goods store. And so it's like, it must have been a long trip I was on because it's like a week and a half later, I get an email from.
Careful. You've already put it out there in a national best-selling author.
From Martin's email address.
From Martin's email address, which is
it's in print if you want it.
Which is jmartdiggitydog@yahoo.org. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, how did he get an email address? I didn't even hire him.
Hey, look, I had to do. I sold
now,
some
how
stuff.
long did you work before I actually paid you?
4.5 months. Before
Did you come to me and say you haven't paid me?
No, you said.
Because there's been employees here that I've hired. Did I forget to pay you?
You just didn't tell him about my negotiations. I negotiated a higher rate.
Oh, so listen to this kid. So
Hold
John
on.
David is like my family. Like he's related to my spouse.
I was recruited.
Right. So I remember like when he's just a little kid. Yeah, he's a little rich kid in there with a queen size bed, you know.
That's dad built.
Oh yeah. So and I kind of had probably something against little rich kids, and so. Well, then I just totally forgot about what happened. I was like, whatever happened to that kid? And we were having
I was living next door to him. That's what happened.
So we have some weird family meal because we actually don't have a lot of family.
It was at
meals.
your house.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened.
Johnny D's there, like working the crowd. You know, did you have the full beard by then?
It was a smaller beard.
Oh yeah,
That was
so
probably
he's starting to get on that Duck Dynasty train, and so the beard's
I was
coming.
doing that before.
And I'm like, who is this kid? And that's like, that's old Johnny D, baby. That's old nervous Pervis. Remember, I remembered you like, you know, convulsing when you played one hand out of an hour playing poker. I said, we need to hire this kid. And so we have a meeting.
He calls me while I'm at my other job and is like, leave that, come over here. And so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the, and so John David starts negotiating. So I'm like, what do you make an hour? And it's like $3. What is it, like
$8.50 an hour.
$8.50 an hour. And he goes,
said,
and I'm like, well, what's it gonna take for us to get you?
Should have said 10.
Get you here. And John David's like, well, for $9 an hour, I think I can make the move.
You hit the books for a little bit more than that now.
I should have went with 10 back then. But then look,
I did. You had me.
I did. I got my first paycheck and he didn't tell anybody. So I think it was like 8 and I had to walk in. I said, excuse me, I don't know if you've heard, but I negotiated a higher rate.
Well, at least you got a paycheck. No, I mean, but I volunteered to work here for free, so I didn't expect nothing. Then, like, 4 to 5 months later, he said, why don't I start paying you? I was like, okay, not a problem. I mean, I didn't.
I would forget. I would forget to tell him that somebody. I wasn't as bad as Phil though. Phil would have people work for him for 2 years.
Oh yeah,
and never pay them.
Oh, and Kay
like a dime. Like it was just like.
Well, that and Kay would just say, "Hey, you mind holding that?
Yeah,
you mind holding that till Tuesday?
Hold that till
That
Tuesday.
was my first check from quitting Riverwood.
Did you have to hold your checks?
Yeah, she said, don't cash this till Monday.
Oh yeah, that's back.
I said,
well, that's why. Yeah, that's why I took it over actually because mom, she did as good as she could, but I was like,
well, being the buyer at a local sporting goods store was good for me because I knew all I had to do was wait for y'all's vacation before I even knew anything about y'all's vacation, and I could get Duck Commander product for the year because she would say, "Now I'll give you a really good discount if you pay me cash."
They were doing all these stupid.
And I just pay her out the register, and she'd go on vacation like she's like, "Ooh, I got $400."
Oh my gosh, we were just like we would go to a show, and we'd sell duck calls all weekend. We'd make like $10,000, right? And then Mom would like have it in her purse, and then we'd always just go eat, and then we'd just go blow it, and then we'd have to pay for something, So I started investing in the company, but then I realized, hang on, man, how's this story going to end, you know? I said, why don't I just, like, kind of take it over, and took it over, and it was rough. So I go to the bank, and I said, and this is right before when you could still kind of talk to the bank, you know, and it was like, yeah, this doesn't really make any sense, but we'll take a chance on you. And he goes, I said, I need a loan. I can't remember what I was asking, a couple of $100,000 maybe. And he goes, well, you can have like $35,000 as a business loan. I'm like, well, how in the heck am I going to pay for all this stuff? We got nothing, you know. I said, is there any way we can get some more? I don't know. That's about all. I don't know how we made it. But I held my checks, too. There were about 6 months of them. They were on the top of my desk. All my paychecks were just stacked up. They were no good.
They was just paper.
I was betting on it to come, baby. I was crossing my fingers saying, let's work hard and figure it out.
And here we are. Well,
now we all got queen-size beds in our own bedroom.
Yeah, buddy. Well, let's take our last break. We'll be right back. That leads us into the last section of the show. Look, we have not had time due to hunting and everything else around here to go through the emails for this week.
Yeah, we got time. Go ahead.
Nah, we're good.
I'm saying
You've got
time.
You
got plenty of time.
But you've
man.
got
go
the
through
last
your emails. What is it?
You've got the last section, so we're going to give you plenty of time to opine here at the end. But
hey,
look,
welcome back, guys.
If you got questions or comments on our boss, because he won't be back here, and it's obvious he doesn't listen to the podcast, so we can talk freely when he's not here. Just send them to hello@duckcallroom.com. That's hello@duckcallroom.com. Don't forget, like and subscribe on YouTube. And look, boss, I know since you don't listen to this or watch it or anything, then you don't know how we close this week.
Yeah.
Hello.
So
Hello, Claire.
It's me.
That's
I was going
copyrighted.
Adele, and you were going
Silence of the Lambs.
I'll watch that.
That was Lionel Richie, not Adele.
Huh?
You said it's me you're looking for.
No,
I can see it in your eyes.
No, different. You went Lionel Richie. There you go.
I thought
we
you
got
were
all the
Did
hello
you hear the
races.
piano in the background?
So anyway, before we got distracted again, we always close with a Bible verse or some positive thought. Boss, this is where you come in. Send us home.
Positive thought. All right. I'll try to be positive. Yeah, it comes from the book of Psalm. I believe it's 51, John D.
Psalm 51.
51, yeah,
What's the
verse
verse?
10.
You want me to read it?
Verse 10, yeah, read 10, then I'll comment on it.
Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Psalms 51:10.
Is it Psalms or is it Psalm?
It's hard to say.
Create in me a clean heart, O God. All right, let's keep reading.
And renew a steadfast spirit within me.
All right, read the next one.
Do not cast me from your presence or take your Holy Spirit from me.
All right, let's hear the next one.
Restore to me the joy of your salvation and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me.
So David's going through some stuff here, right? Like, so he's wanting this cleansing. All right, the next one.
Then I will teach transgressors your ways, so that sinners will turn back to you.
Now this one I want to pause on. So he says, create in me a pure heart, O God. And then he ends up saying, then I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners will come back to you. You know what that sounds like, John D?
Sounds like evangelism.
Oh, now I don't often go. I'm the evangelism coordinator at our church, and I don't often go to the Old Testament. And I was reading that this morning, actually, and I was like, wow, David's saying he is actually going to be evangelistic, but he's got to get himself right first. So he's asking for that pure heart. Then he will teach people their ways, and sinners will turn back to God. All right, read the next one.
Deliver me from the guilt of bloodshed, O God, you who are God, my Savior, and my tongue will sing of your righteousness.
So deliver from the guilt, which is, guilt will hold you back from doing what you need to do. All right, the next one.
Open my lips, Lord, and my mouth will declare your praise.
Uh-oh. We got more evangelism. Open my lips. And so I see this, that's a real pattern that I've never actually seen before, a pattern that to tell others good news, you've got to work on yourself, get yourself there, and then once that opens up, you'll be able to tell others about the hope and the joy that you have. And I actually shared that with a couple of people this morning because we've been going over the idea of evangelism. We're actually going to do a series on it. And so it's amazing how you can do that, because I think we're all called, which evangelism, if you don't know, it's an old word. It just simply means to proclaim the good news of Jesus, either publicly, which some people go, oh, I could never do that, or personally. And so once you get it down to there, then you should be able to tell others about that. Now, I will say I really learned this from watching Phil, and of all the stuff that I saw Phil do, that dude has always been sharing his faith. And so I witnessed that growing up, and so I've tried to do that myself and give people good news, because what I'm seeing, what's happening in the world, there's a lot of bad going on, a lot of heartaches, but I'm seeing opportunity surely for something better and something hopeful, something beyond what we can see. Because I think 2020 exposed a lot of people as to what's important, what really matters, what we're all into, what we follow, what we go to, family, you're stuck with people, relationships. I mean, there's a lot of people that's in a lot of hurt, and a lot of stuff has happened. And so we're only here for a short time, and then we're gone. So I'm banking on just like when I took over this company and holding all my checks and was like, I hope something better's coming. But I think we saw through this past year, that this world doesn't offer all those things for us. And so the more we get tied up in it, caught up in it, and it'll chew you up and spit you out and leave you really hopeless. So that's what makes me get up in the morning. That's what gives me hope and happiness. And that way, no matter what happens on this planet, I'm hoping that there's something better, that our lives can go there. And so my word of the year, I'm giving everybody my word. No one knows this word for the year, which I moved the goalpost, John.
You moved the goalpost to February. You found it.
You shouldn't make. Yeah, I have my word. You shouldn't make your New Year's resolutions on January the 1st, because you're coming off of Christmas and hectic stuff, and then you're like, oh no, what am I going to try to do for the year? Then you come up with something, and let's face it, most people by now are like already failed miserably. So I took the entire month of January to figure out what it is that I wanted to do for 11. I'd rather have the 11 months of something. And so we're doing fasting and we're doing praying. And so I'm waiting for this time. But I've come up with my word for the year, and it is create. And that passage starts out with create, which is what led me to that passage. And so so this year I will try to create. I have a whole list of things that I'm going to try to create. But I'm kind of a creative type. And so creating something from nothing, which I'm interested in, and I'm glad this podcast was created.
There we go.
We're glad to have you.
Glad to have you, boss. Come back anytime. You're always welcome here in the duck call room. So
I may stop by.
I'm glad you like it. This is about the 7th, 8th one.
Is it? I don't have to listen to it to like it. I can just like it.
Good deal.
As long as you subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Just like and subscribe.
Oh,
okay, thank you so much for tuning in to the Duck Call Room Podcast.
Whoa.
Wolfman Willie out.
This is Wolfman Willie. Ow.